So the other day I did a video about the Archdemon, how to get 1 billion damage, and like the core of that team was Isaac, Sebastian, and Nebula, which wouldn't be is not that surprising if you've been playing this game for a long time. You know that Isaac, Sebastian, Nebula, they're kind of the core of a lot of boss lane teams. I tend to a lot of like some old timers like myself tend to call these guys like the Stonecold trio. This has to do with the fact that long time ago, there was this line called Stonecold, which used these heroes along with Jew. This was a line called Stonecold. This was the line you would see here. It was Isaac, Jew, Sebastian, Nebula, Martha. That line is called Stonecold. Like, it became like a popular like anti-twins team. So back in like 2019, they released pets. They released Sebastian. This kind of created twins meta here. Like this team right here. Aurora, Celeste, Sebastian, and Crystal Lars, like Trinity Twins. It was pretty much the best team ever. Everybody's using this. This was the team to beat. And Stonecold, so in 2020, December 2020, they released Isaac, who was meant to kind of bring back balance to the game. And so Stonecold would end up being kind of like the main counter team to the Trinity Twins team. You'd put like I said, a good team like that. If you had the Trinity Twins there, we could probably even do current, like you could put, like I said, you could fight him with, like said, the Stonecold team. People called it Stonecold. I didn't name it. That was a name other people were calling it. And this is before Asgard was around. Asgard came out later. This is before Asgard even entered the picture. But yeah, this was called Trinity Twins. We called this team Trinity Twins, but, Stonecold was with Sebastian, Isaac, Jew, Martha, and where's Isaac? Here he is, Isaac. So, yeah, actually, Mara could be really good too. Just really depends. Vex wasn't around back then, but we'll use him here. Actually, we could just use Fenris. That's fine. Vex was not around yet. Neither was Chorus. Like, Axel was the newest pet back then. But yeah, like you could, like I said, Mara's actually pretty good. If you can land science, they do have Sebastian. Oliver lets you have some regen. Like, there's pros and cons. It just really depends. But this, like I said, Trinity Twins was the team to beat. And you would, the idea is just to take the advantage of the magic damage. Like I said, Celeste is going to put a lot of magic damage. You should be able to activate Isaac's ult quickly. And this is why Mara Patron's probably better, because 12-second silence would be probably game over if you landed for, oh, discern, he drops. Mara Patron probably better. But like I said, you can do a lot of damage. Just note that Aurora does can put dodge buffs up, which can cause your damage to miss with Isaac. But there you go. Lars is down. All right, and see, that's a win. So that's kind of why Stonecold exists as a team, because it became like a really good counter. This was like originally with Martha. These days, you'd probably use Thea instead of Martha in like PvP situations, because Thea just has more synergy. Like the people who first started using it were using Martha, but Thea generally works better with Jew. It's like I said, now you have Lara Croft, who is probably even better in that over Jew, especially for like Asgard. Like you're fighting like Osh the Eternal Keeper. That became like the meta line. We're still in 150. You see somebody use, oh yeah, see, there it is right there. So that's it. Stonecold. This became kind of like the, when people start like testing against Asgard and stuff, this ended up being like the best line. And again, Sebastian, Jew, Nebula, Isaac, Martha, like I said, those were the heroes. You can actually use Lara Croft instead of Jew, which usually gets you a bit better damage. If you have it, but not everyone has Lara Croft developed. But like this became the go-to team for Osh Turtle Keeper. Obviously, when Osh was launched, Lara Croft wasn't in the game yet. But like this became like the boss lane team. And if you've been watching, like I said, if you watched my video about the Archdemon the other day, wrong one. So Archdemon, like, because once you beat a stage, you can fight the Archdemon. I did a full video about that. But yeah, the core of that team was Sebastian, Nebula, like used Sebastian. It was Sebastian, Nebula, and Isaac. Those were the three heroes that we used. In addition, I also used Goose as the healer. You could probably Like, you could probably get away with Martha as a healer on that in that particular fight. But you were using the attack only talisman, so you didn't have any energy. Isaac doesn't use energy because he uses charge, so he kind of so that drawback doesn't apply to him. But like, you could possibly use Martha instead of Goose for healing. But I was using Goose probably a bit better. But a lot of healers are not going to be that effective without energy. But yeah, then the fifth hero I had was Kayla. The fifth hero doesn't really matter too much in that one because it's just Kayla's fine. Chainmail could be fine. Lyria could be fine. Mojo's probably really good in that fifth spot. It just really depends on what you got. It was a lower priority. Mostly you're just looking, you want these three heroes and then probably Goose or maybe Martha to be your healer. But that was pretty much, that's the core. Getting 1 billion damage against Archdemon was really just involved getting these three heroes maxed out if you can, and then try to have like Goose and then have, like you said, the attack only talisman was like the strategy. And this has been true for a lot of bosses. If you've seen the Great Storm videos, Isaac, like I said, these kind of Isaac, Nebula, Sebastian teams are really good for the Great Storm. You could use Lara Croft. You could use Jew. Like I said, these kind of teams work really well against a lot of like boss fights. They work well against mage teams. Like if you're fighting in Clash of Worlds, you might use that against like certain teams. Like if there's a mage team somewhere. Not in here. Like a lot of times, like where's the alchemy tower? This is the mage one, I think. Major, yeah, this is the mage. You'll see a lot of mage. Sometimes, a lot of times, I'll use my Stonecold line in the alchemy tower against some lines. If there's an alchemy tower fight to do, a lot of times I'll use that there. Sometimes I can use it in Guild Wars. There's arena. Sometimes you might find something in the arena where it makes sense to use them. But yeah, just like I said, Isaac, Sebastian, Nebula teams, pretty good. Like here's a good example here. Let's see here. Let's do it this way. That was Sebastian. We'll keep him. So Isaac, and then we want Nebs, wherever Nebs is. So like I said, these three are the core of these strategies. But yeah, we could do Lara Croft. Lara Croft's really good. You could instead like Jew, and then you would have usually somebody to heal. Usually, like I said, it just really depends. Martha's pretty good. If you're using Jew, I recommend Thea just because Thea Jew has a lot of more synergy. But Thea's pretty good regardless. You could use, like I said, you could use a number of different heroes here, but we'll just use Thea here. Yeah, like I said, they have Aurora, they have Ryan. Depending on, so long as they don't dodge out of it, we should be able to win here. And they don't have Sebastian, so I feel like we're gonna, just destroy him. So there you go. All right, yeah, but we just said between Lara Croft and Sebastian, just kind of blows through him. Adam could potentially be really good here too. Like we could try Adam. Adam's a new hero. Here's another one. Don't wait here. Let's see. Like, my Adam's not really developed yet. We'll probably do that next time. There's a buffing, like we have like another, like we'll do a buffing up hero video when there's a tournament power. If we have another, if they cancel tournament power, I would not shed a tear. I'd be okay if they cancel tournament power. I don't like that event, but it said the important thing is we probably don't need Adam that much. You're mostly just using Isaac, Nebula, Sebastian is the core of your damage strats here. You have an Adam die, it doesn't matter. Like I said, as long as like so, I should have used Mara Patron though, instead of Oliver, because if Mara, like I said, because then you like totally silence lock him for 12 seconds instead of just 4. But I think we'll get it. Aurora's dead, so they're not gonna have any more dodge buffs, so we should be fine. And boom. So yeah, Stonecold trio. Like I said, the original Stonecold was these 3 heroes plus, like I said, plus Martha Jew. But very effective against certain teams. Totally recommended. If you haven't developed Sebastian's the best hero on the game in general. But Fluffy, wants to compete with him. But I'd say Sebastian's still the best hero on the game. But yeah, like I said, and they have that. So we should use Mara. Mara's actually pretty good. I think said even though they have Chorus, maybe you wouldn't use Mara. Maybe not against Chorus, but Mara's like pretty good if they don't have protection, because 12-second silence will just end them. I feel like you're better off you have Isaac up front, depending. It just depends on the thing, on what you got going on. But another DPS, it's fine. We can just use Jew, the classic style. Thea Jew is a very good combo. Thea's passive works really well with Jew, how Jew's kit works. Oh, yep, actually, you just got wrecked by Augustus there and Fluffy. Yeah, probably Lara Croft's gonna be better. Yeah, Jew actually did pretty good damage. We actually got wrecked by Fluffy. We actually got wrecked by Fluffy there. Wait, who was that one? Law 2014. We got wrecked by Fluffy. He reversed. He blocked Isaac's first ults. So yeah, that was a problem. Let's see. Let's try our own Fluffy even. We can also do your own Fluffy. Fluffy's really good, guys. Recommend him. Yeah, we got wrecked by Fluffy, who just ate Ode to Serenity. Okay. Okay. Nope, not quite. Alright, we did. We actually got it. Fluffy carried us through, but Sebastian Isaac did most of the damage with the Nebula boost. But yeah, Fluffy has definitely complicated life for Sebastian in general. And you could try to change up your lineup here against some of those kind of teams to try to put Sebastian in the back so you can push out a fast Ode to Serenity with War Flag of Readiness. Let's see. We could just try like an Aurora thing, like I do Holy Trinity plus Stonecold trio here. Nebula doesn't necessarily need a patron. So try something like this. So this should let Sebastian beat Fluffy, so we get Ode to Serenity up. So thanks to War Flag of Readiness. Go. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe still not quite. Still not quite. Yeah, like I said, Fluffy has definitely kind of shaked up the metagame, but just depends on what they have. Like I said, you should still be able to beat a lot of mage teams. Maybe, like I said, you just have to be careful of Fluffy. But yeah, no, they've said been pretty solid. Like I said, super good for bosses, like I said, against the Archdemon. But yeah, like I said, not too much more to say on this one. I recently did a video about like the top 5 best heroes in the game. If you're interested in checking that one out, you can find it down below. As always, thank you for watching.